Hello survivors, welcome to a brand new Soulstone survivor video. Today we are playing the Assassin. It is an awesome build. Well, I haven't actually tried it out yet in Titan Hunt, but it's an awesome build nonetheless. We're going to play Synergetic. We're using the new Brittle Rune, Multicast Mastery and Critical Mastery, Weapon Expert, Reroll Mastery and Material Harvest, and we're going to integrate Swing and Thrust together. Essentially, the build is going to be building around Reap, which deals a percentage of the Doom's damage instantly. Now, that's a very important wording to understand. It's dealing a percentage of the Doom's damage instantly. Now, what that means is that when we apply Doom, the amount of damage that Doom does is also important, along with the amount of damage that the skill itself deals. So the fact that we're going to be dealing a lot of Doom needs to come in handy over here. So we're going to be getting a lot of Doom stacks, one, but we're also going to take a lot of Calamity or Calamitous or whatever it's called to increase the amount of Doom that we apply. Another way to increase the amount of Doom that we deal is going to be actually increasing the amount of damage our skills do. So usually I get rid of Powerful Strikes, but in this case, getting this is going to increase the amount of Doom that we can apply on all of our skills. So you'll see there it's on 180. It now goes to 190. So we're going to try and apply as much Doom as possible, and we're going to try and see what we can do with that. So it's going to be a swing thrust, a shadow thing. So we want to get swing skills, we want to get thrust skills. We've got the swing skills are mostly what we're going to be looking for, because they got low cooldowns and they're going to be able to apply that beautiful Doom that we want. So we're going to use Heartrending Strike, Double Slash. We've got Reap, which is swing. And then we've got the Shadow Stab and what's the other one called? Rapture, as well as On Guard for our other thrust skills. Alright, Multicast Chance for physical is beautiful. A Bulwark to Aptitude is also beautiful. And we just need those two other skills. There's On Guard, Thrust Area Physical, so it is physical, that's beautiful. But we get Critical Strike Chance for our thrust skills. And last but not least, we just need to find ourselves our last skill. Maybe I can just take this in the meantime until we find Rapture. Now, Rapture is one of my favorite skills in the game. And the reason for that is because it is one of the only skills in the game that can permanently stun elites. I'm like, why is my wording today, honestly? But yeah, it's one of the only skills in the game that can stun all elite enemies. There are skills that can stun enemies, but they don't stun all of the elites. So a very, very strong skill. As soon as we get it, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Here's Calamity, increase our Doom amount. And we can go for some Form to Haste to increase our movement speed. Some Critical Strike Chance. Remember, we are using the Critical Mastery Rune, so we want base Critical Strike Chance as well, not just increased criticals for our skills. We need our actual character Critical Strike Chance to be higher, which it currently is a massive amount. I didn't even realize we had so much Critical Strike Chance and we don't even have our Ascension up. That is crazy. But that's also because we have 200 stacks of Form already. Okay. Oh, do you know what? We might actually leave a spear trap in there because of the Form. I was going to use... Oh, but Rapture gives us Form as well, so never mind. Alright, this card over here is very important. Now, what it does is it increases the amount of damage that our Ascension gives us. This damage is multiplicative, so it's a 30% overall damage increase. What happens is this, you can only get 5 of them, so we get a 20% additional over there. That is a massive amount of increased damage, and it's going to be really, really strong to add that in there. We're going to grab the Calamity. We can go Swing to Thrust. Yeah, we can do that. And we'll go Thrust to Swing as well. Let's go grab our Ascension so you can see what happens. We literally just got to defeat a messenger who runs away from us. And you can see already our Critical Strike Chance, 274%, 128 damage, and just insane stats for our character. Beautiful. Just one tap everything. And then another thing with the Ascension is it makes it so as you can see, these say ambush. What ambush is we need to defeat enemies from, or hit an enemy from behind, or backstab an enemy, and that's going to proc the ambush. What it does for the Reap is it makes it consume all the doom stacks and deal damage based on the doom. But what's important to know about that is that our Ascension makes us stealth, so all of our attacks are considered from behind. So any skill that has ambush on it will proc regardless of where you hit. So it's very, very strong. Area of effect is also really good. Just be careful with area of effect, because what's going to happen is as soon as you grab it and you've got ambush active, you also emit a shadowy area around you causing damage. That's perfectly fine. The ambush damage is perfect. The only problem is it becomes very, what's the wording? It becomes very immense. You get way too much like noise on the screen, visual clutter. That's the word I was looking for. There's becomes a lot more visual clutter. So I'll show you now. We'll grab our Ascension and you'll see that shadowy aura that gets emitted by Shadow Stab can be quite insane. So there you go. You can actually see it occurring. It's not very visually friendly, especially as soon as you get more AoE. So I do hope as a quality of life one day the developers change the VFX of the shadow aura that occurs. Maybe they can make it more rounded, like the actual aura of the skills that we currently have, like the shadow aura that's emitted with our artifact power, which also applies doom for us. So Shadow Dance emits an aura that applies doom to nearby enemies every 0.5 seconds. I was thinking about taking Chromatic Slash just to get a slow or burn, but we should be fine. Okay, we finally get Thrust to swing. Beautiful. A Shadow to swing. Also, that's fine. We've only got one Shadow skill though, so it actually isn't fun. We're going to banish this one, because what happens is with Skill Chain, because this weapon is a Shadow, it can't proc Skill Chain to itself, if that makes sense. So you need to have although it is a Shadow skill, it will help proc Shadow to swing, so it will help proc the Heartrending Strike and Double Slash, and Shadow Stab will help proc to Reap, but Reap can't proc to itself. I hope that makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense to me, but obviously it's a little bit more difficult to understand sometimes. I don't really explain it. So if you didn't understand it, let me know. I'll try and explain it a little bit better, but essentially, yep, that's what it is. Also, not getting what we need here. Well, it's not that we need it, but it would be nice to grab ourselves my Rapture. Also looks like this could be a round where we get 1,000 form stacks. 1,000 stacks is the hard cap for the buffs, by the way. Excuse me. I've had a frog in my throat recently. I don't know what's going on.
Another key to the door.
Alright, level 5, let's go. Life is going to be great. We're not going to grab area of effect over there, and there's a reason for that. That's just going to be very, very bad. We could grab damage, again, that is going to increase the amount of doom that we apply, and then obviously increasing the amount of doom stacks. So again, the amount of damage or doom that we can apply, the more damage Reap is going to do with that 300% instant damage dealt. So now we don't have our ambush ready. We need to just be careful. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and proc as much doom, or stack as much doom onto the boss as possible, so that once we ambush him, we can actually one-tap him, or attempt to one-tap him. I don't think we'll actually get to that point though, because as you can see, I don't want to take damage. So we'll have to... Oh, it was a one-tap. Okay, so there you go. We literally one-tapped him from like a lot of life. Beautiful. Love to see it. And then if we waited even longer and we landed up getting our Ascension, that would have been even better. So over here, Exposed is going to be really, really strong. Obviously, the Dazed we don't necessarily need, but it would be quite helpful. Getting Disoriented would be even more powerful, but we can either take another Shadow skill instead to get Disoriented, or we can just get a lot more critical strike damage and hope that that's pretty good to go. Just to, make our damage that much stronger, because Exposed will work on skills like this because it does do direct damage. Actually, it doesn't. Huh. I'm sure it does work with it. I'm certain this is instant damage done is counted as direct damage. I'm gonna have to find out. But I'm so sure it does. Anyway, if it doesn't work on that, it does work on all the other skills anyway. So it still works. Okay, here's our Rupture. Again, we do get a stun. We also gain form. We've also got exposed already, so I'm not sure why I'm going for exposed on hits. I just realized that. We can go for another bounty hunter. And maybe we can drop this for another shadow, actually. But we'll see what happens. Grabbing the Doom, damage increase. So over here we're on 300%. It now goes up to 375. Get rid of Leviathan. Cast frequency. Cast frequency. And now we have a much safer time as well, because we've got our Rapture sitting there. Our Ascension just procced. So let's go defeat the bounty hunter. Or the bounty target. There we go. And now everything's just going to melt all the time. Alright, that's done. Let's go to the next one. We do have a forecast down there, but obviously it spawned a little bit too late for me. This is quite hectic on the eyes, so we'll drop the visuals a little bit.
That's one more piece. I'll find the rest.
Maybe if we get more area of effect, I'll increase it again so we can get a beautiful reap screenshot. Right, 460 stacks. We have lost our Ascension, which is fine. Again, we just got to knock them from behind.
The tension is thrilling. Velocity never beats precision. Am I right?
Oh, it actually procced again. That's fine. The time is low enough, so we get assigned it every 48 seconds and it lasts for 42 seconds. We can grab that now. Don't worry about life because I think we do need it. Multicast and cast frequency. Multicasting, damage for that, beautiful. We don't really need the cast frequency, but we'll take it anyway. Grab the damage there. Swing to shadow is perfect. Grab ourselves cast frequencies on everything. More critical strike chance because you can never have enough. More doom as well. I don't even think we had that many doom stacks on the broken player before we actually defeated him. So that's pretty intense if you think about it.
Another step. Don't get too relaxed.
Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to go do Aruanak so that we can make it so all our ambush skills are always active. I don't know if that's going to be like a kick in the like kicking ourselves because we don't necessarily want that. But I think we should be fine. Okay, a little bit of movement speed. Multicast of the area skills. Grab that. We actually got aptitude already, which increases our critical damage as well. So grabbing Bulwark to aptitude will be very strong here as well. So we're actually going to have a lot of form, a lot of aptitude, which is a lot of critical strike chance and a lot of critical damage, which also helps with our skills dealing more damage. But, yep, there we go. Let's try and get as much doom stacks as possible again. And then essentially what we're going to do is we're going to run behind him. Or her. And see if we can one-tap it again. That should be more than enough. Perfect. Ah, that's so nice. Okay, we might not actually, every time you hit a skill, cast any skill, you have a chance to gain form. We've already got form on most of our skills anyway, so I don't think we need that. We've already got exposed as well, so it might be... Thing is, we can add so much more exposed. We've only got one skill for it. You know what? Let's just grab it. It's whatever. Grab our free 30 odd levels. Also, by the way, if you jump, I love that.
Shiny things draw sharp things.
Okay, run along the edge over here. We might actually get over 30 levels, but we'll see. Getting 20 to 30 levels for free is absolutely wonderful. Takes a bit of time, but it's fine. Okay, 24 levels. Again, I'm not... Oh, I will do it. Okay, it's fine. Multicast chance. Oh, that was a mistake. Damage, critical strikes, critical strike, cast frequency, aptitude, shadow to thrust is fine. Increase the damage, more movement speed, cast frequency. I don't think we need the crit, so we'll just grab that. Cast frequencies are fine. And we're just looking for damage. We're not really too worried about the area of effect right now. Our area of effect is quite big. We've got 525% of the amount of doom done instantly, and we're also going to make it now. I mean, you can just see how much. And we're also going to make it now that it's permanent, so we can no longer one tap the bosses like we're doing. Although I'm very tempted to not do that, but it just makes sense, guys. It makes things go faster. As we get more stacks of proccing Doom, you'll notice, I mean, we're not even proccing the backstab yet. And we're doing a lot of damage, so... Oh, we got another one. This went super quickly, actually. Sharp blades, swing to shadow. I think the best part about this build is like their HP just disappears. As soon as you hit them with the backstab, they're gone. Alright, we don't even get a lot of levels over there because we just instantly defeated the bosses and everything, so that's good. We get rune. Sharp blades, reduce our assignment time, so now it is procced, it's permanent. Ascension. So if you get, this is one of those ascensions where if the timer for a reassignment is lower than the duration, it's just like a buff or something like that, where you can actually keep defeating the enemy over and over and over again, and you actually land up getting a lot of... You can permanently have your ascension up. The only problem is that you can't get, you know, during the bosses, unless you reduce the amount quite a lot. Increase your cast speed, and all of your skills with the ambush trait will now always cast an ambush, always cause an ambush. So, man, I'm gonna take it. It gave us a whack ton of cast frequency, so it is actually well worth it to do that. And then we can go for... Do they have anything for us over here? They got slow to brittle. We'll just go for the damage and cast frequency with broken player.
Deserts offer no place to hide. Always try running.
But now we don't have to worry about our Ascension anymore. However, it does give us beautiful stats. And thank you for having lower visibility, because as you can see now, we have an issue with Shadow Stab.
Another key to the door. Keep collecting fragments. The tension is thrilling.
Okay, we're going to start with the Prophetess, just because she is irritating.
That's one more piece. I'll find the rest.
Ooh. Alright, let's go defeat him. There we go. We get beautiful stats. 740 critical strike chance, 1000 critical damage. Insane amounts of stats.
Piece by piece, the Titan stirs.
Don't even need to try and get a lot of critical strike chance. It just happens automatically. We're only on 400 form. Oh no, we're not. We're 900. Okay, so we actually hit the cap nearly. That's pretty big. And remember, the 25% of our critical strike chance is being added to critical damage. It's just a hidden number. So the rune doesn't show you the added number, which is also adding to the critical damage. So Just remember 15% of our critical strike chance is going to our critical damage further than what you can see. Okay, another ruin. Oh my goodness, I am so happy, ladies and gentlemen. Today is a build of the century. Not really the century, but this is amazing. Just going to go more damage, more swing to thrust. We can go area of effect of those skills. We don't need haste. Haste is movement speed. But just look at this. Also, if you get general AoE, it's going to increase the area of effect of our Shadow Dance, which is also 8,800 Doom, which is actually quite a lot of Doom damage every 0.5 seconds. So if you're looking to increase Doom, you can also just go with that. Alright, now unfortunately, as you can see, the Doom doesn't really stack up as it was. It's not a one tap like we did earlier, but it definitely helps a lot. Lose a bit of movement speed, but we gain even more damage and cast frequency. 0.2, it's actually, okay, so there is a hard limit to cast frequency. The lowest is 0.2 seconds, but the game actually has like an integer issue. So even though the tooltip will say 0.2, the lowest you can actually get to theoretically is 0.15, but it will never show the 0.15. It will always show it as 0.2. So even if your skill just made it to 0.2, know that there is still more cast frequency that you can get for them to get it even further down. But yeah, pretty insane. Nearly 3 or 4 of the skills are at 0.2 second cooldowns, which is insane if you have to think about it. It's absolutely bonkers. Everything just melts. What do we have here? Thank goodness we didn't take form, because that would have been a waste. Ooh, a beautiful rare critical strike damage. I will take that. Just gone. Just gone. This could be one of the strongest builds yet. A bit slow in the beginning, but we've definitely made up a lot of time. Let's go grab our Ascension, just because it's going to make us that more powerful. Back in the day, ladies and gentlemen, these bosses did not spawn as statues. They used to immediately spawn. I think they were made as statues for beginner players or newer players, so that you had time to know that the bosses were spawning. Because as soon as you get to like a high Titan level or a high Overlord level, due to them having a huge amount of increased attack speed and cast speed, they would one-shot you as they spawned. So it became very difficult for us to get anywhere. So the developers made it so that they actually spawn slowly as statues. It just made it easier, so you know, as a character or as a player, we knew when the bosses were going to spawn and where from, so we could prepare ourselves for it, which a lot of people don't actually like for some reason. Alright, Doom cast frequency. I'm sure I took a Doom to burn. No, I never. Alright, grab that. More Doom, more health, more Doom. More damage, another, oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, what is this ridiculousness? We're just going to grab damage. We didn't get a lot of damage for Reap, it doesn't really matter. I didn't focus on it as much as we should have. I've been focusing on grabbing Doom damage. I mean, that's 1200% over there. This is 160% of the damage dealt automatically gets dealt. It's nearly as much damage as our Reap is doing. I mean, we're doing 160% of the Doom damage immediately on top of the damage that Reap's doing. But anyway, there's the Corrupted Paladin gone, and that's it. So because we don't have a additional, ooh, that is so good, but no, this is the best thing to grab. Because we don't have a Void King fight today, what happens is, because it's on the brand new one, what you could do right now is you would stand on this. And what happens is, as you go through the next portal, the next time you do 5 Titan Slain, you do the next one, then the next one. So this one you could go up to like 25 times before you fight the Void King, but that's not what we're doing today. We just wanted to defeat this level so we can keep going. Now we've unlocked the +3 next, or +3 next sigil, and we're going to keep going from there. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.